what this ceremony is all about. It is inspired by the Jewish tradition of a bat mitzvah, but it's not really one. My family and I thought it was a very important step in my life and that it should be celebrated. We like to think of it as a coming-of-age ceremony where a child becomes an adult. My family and I haven't been very active in traditional Judaism, but there are other things that have been more important and I have been a lot closer to in my life. One of them is peace. In a traditional bat mitzvah, the girl will read from a Torah, the Jewish holy book. Instead of using the Torah as my holy book, I like to think of peace as taking place with the Torah. Usually a girl will study the Torah for many years before having a bat mitzvah. In my life, I like to think that peace is an idea I have studied for many years. But like studying the Torah, I still have many things to learn about it. At different stages in my life, I have thought very differently. Even though I may technically be an adult, I don't believe that I really am one until I am ready and until I know what path I am on in life. As I go through life, I am always gaining wisdom, and I always will. Take a look at my grandpa. He's 75, he was a math professor for 40 years, and he still doesn't know the answer to 2 plus 2. You must always learn more, and you can never stop learning, because learning is what keeps you going. As long as you learn more, you will always be able to improve and to get better. So I don't believe that I am an adult yet, but I do believe I am on the path towards one. There are a lot of responsibilities you must take on when you are an adult. For me, there are 3 that are the biggest. They are responsibility, being yourself, and honesty. Responsibility is big for me because when you're an adult, you no longer have your parents to look after you, and you must do things by yourself. You have to be able to make your own decisions and be able to look after yourself and do the right things. Being yourself is really important because as long as you trust yourself, your heart will always do the right thing for you. People will also be able to trust you better knowing that you are being yourself. The last thing is honesty. It is very important for you to be honest with not only all the people around you, but you also have to be extremely honest with yourself. If you are always honest with yourself, you can trust yourself to do what is right and to follow your dreams. As you grow older, you get more privileges and rights that go along with those responsibilities. At 13, there are some pretty cool privileges you can get. One, my favorite, is that you no longer have to drink out of sippy cups at restaurants. I'm like this 12-year-old girl sitting at a restaurant, and I order up the kids menu because you get the cool drink and dessert that comes with it. And so when the waiter or waitress comes in with my drink, it is in this plastic container with a straw that has cartoon characters on the side. It gets me a little mad sometimes. Anyway, another privilege is that I get to take more money out of my parents' pockets. Otherwise known as, I am accepted as an adult at movie theaters, restaurants, museums, and pretty much anything like that. As I continue to grow into an adult, I will also get more privileges as I grow up. At 16, I get my driver's license, so I can drive anywhere I want without having to drag my parents along with me. At 18, I become an official adult of the United States and I get to vote. And of course, at 21, I am legally allowed to drink, which is not the biggest excitement for me right now, but okay. There have been so many people in my life. I cannot live and be the person that I am without these people. I'm so glad to have them in my life. There are, of course, my parents, who I would not be here without them. My mom has helped me establish great habits that I will hopefully keep throughout my entire life. She has encouraged me to be such a healthy person in life, and I really appreciate it. Because of her, I already know everything that is going on in health class. She has always been there for me and has always been so supportive in everything I do. My dad has taught me one of the greatest things that I have learned, and that is admitting. I will always look up to him in how he always knows when he is wrong and he's willing to admit it, and to me that is really important. He taught me not to worry, and sometimes it is okay to make mistakes. My brother has played an important role in my life that most brothers play. He will always be there to bug, and I will always be there for him to bug. He is also a great person to have in my life and to play with and have fun with. He will always be there for me. My poppy has been really important to me. He taught me that sometimes it is okay to cuss and to enjoy life. The most important thing that he taught me, though, that I actually didn't realize until I was much older, is that if something makes you happy, then you should do it. If your stomach is a little larger than a Barbie doll and eating raw steak and gigantic bowls of ice cream every night makes you happy, then you should be happy. He taught me that no matter how much your annoying granddaughter bugs you about your eating habits, you should always do what makes you happy. My nanny has been really influential in my life. Whenever I went to their house, she would always sing Ain't It Great to Be Crazy to me to help me fall asleep. And basically everything about their house is the most fun thing in the world. Going places with them, eating dinner at their house, playing with Saki and Alfie, going on walks with them, putting no ice cream on my Poggy bagel, and then hiding the cream cheese. Everything about them is so memorable. I love them so much and always will. My Aunt Debbie has always been the person that I look to talk to. Hearing her voice and her responses to everything I say will stay in my mind forever. She has always been there for me to talk to, and I love talking to her. I remember one trip to California when we hiked up the mountains near her house and sat on a ledge looking out for an absolutely beautiful view of green trees, talking and eating orange sherbet. Awesome Uncle Brian taught me to relax, mainly about money. I don't know whether I'm putting his wonderful teachings into action yet, but it has helped. He taught me to relax about money and that it doesn't really matter that much. Grandma and Grandpa have also been really important in my life. Grandpa taught me that grandpas are always right and that 2 + 2 equals 22. Grandpa taught me that they taught me to work hard, and they have always made the best applesauce, jam, and fruit leather ever. My teachers have been one of the greatest influences in my life. Because of them, I have always loved school and loved to learn. They have supported me and taught me a lot of what I know in life. Mrs. Karras was the first person to introduce the rainforest to me, and that was a really big point in my life. The rainforest has inspired me to do a lot, and so has she. Mr. Starr was a really fun teacher and made my 6th grade year one of the best years, along with all of my other teachers, including Miss Leon. Mimi has been one of my best friends ever. She taught me to imagine. We always have a lot of fun making up weird people and playing around with them and talking about things that make no sense to all, but to us are really important. I also want to thank her for putting up with me when I go absolutely crazy. My cousin Molly is a great inspiration in my life. She has taught me that no matter what happens in life, I should always leave a small slot of time to be a kid and to have fun. Watching her makes me smile and makes me have fun. She helps me remember that it doesn't matter how popular you are or what clothes you wear, but to have fun and never let the kid out of you is really important in life. There are actually some people in my life that aren't around anymore, but are still very important to me. My great-grandma has taught me a lot about history and the Depression, and I've learned a lot from all of the antiques that I have from around her house. I also want to thank all of my grandparents, and even those I didn't get to meet. I want to thank them for bringing up the people who brought me up. I know that they have influenced their lives a lot, and because of that, they've influenced me. I also want to thank my second father, Huck. He has always been with me my entire life, and having to lose him was very hard. He always comforted me at night when I was scared of murderers and burglars, because I always knew he would protect me. I always thought that he would go and bite off their heads to save me. He will always be in my heart. I've also had some people who have influenced me a lot, who I have not yet met, but I wish I could. The biggest person is Martin Luther King Jr. He has influenced me a lot about peace and war. He said one of my favorite sayings, hate can never drive out hate, and only love can do that. Other people that have been really important to me are Jane Goodall, Diane Fossey, and Gandhi. They have all influenced me in different ways and made me the person I am today. I hope that all of these people and ideas stay with me my entire life, and I know they always will. I hope I can always continue to study peace, and I will always learn more. I hope it will guide me through my life and be my holy book, like the Torah. I am sure that I will always be learning more about peace and how I want to live my life. Thank you all for coming and supporting me in this coming of age ceremony, and for all being important people in my life. I really appreciate it. Thank you.